And we're live with episode 59 of the Pop Culture Podcast. Thanks for joining us, Tom. How are you doing?
I'm rocking.
You're rocking. You're in a different location today, so your audio is a little bit different than what we're used to. But that's okay. It's good. It's good.
No, my audio sucks. I can try to fix that.
I was just trying to make you feel better.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
yeah, we didn't stream yesterday because I went to go see The Batman, which is the big topic of this week's podcast.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I would have liked it more if my overall theater going experience was a little better. It was a little rocky. Didn't really have the best
What
time at
happened?
the theater. Well, as you know, the audience might know, but probably don't. I'm turning 50 next month. 50, fucking half a century.
What are we doing?
My tolerance for shenanigans is much lower. Like I completely understand where my parents were coming from when I was a kid. They were probably annoyed with me all the time. Like I get it. I get it. So cell phones at movie theaters, my biggest pet peeve. I can't stand that. I hate it. Anybody that goes to movies with me knows I will shame you. I will shake my finger at you if you do that in a movie theater with me around. So there's this couple in front of us at we went to the Marcus Theater, which is a nice chain theater here in Wisconsin. Went to the Marcus Bistroplex. You know, they serve food to you and all that. And a couple in front of us, the woman gets there and she brings out a laptop. Like, who the fuck brings a laptop to a movie? This is before the movie started. And she's, plugging away, and the dude's on his phone swiping at Snapchat, like crazy, like a teenage girl. But he was an adult male. And I thought, okay, well, they got to put this away when the movie starts. There's no way they're going to be using their devices. Movie starts. Sure enough, dude's on his phone. She's on his phone. Fucking annoying as hell. I'm like, I'm nipping this in the bud. So I get up.
Were they you were seeing the light was bothering you
Oh
from
yeah.
the phones?
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. It was like a spotlight in the dark.
So you need to ship them behind you, like to the back of the theater.
I need to nip this in the bud. So I get up, I'm with my wife, I'm with Heather. I get up and I go and I say, I'm very polite, like, hey, that's really annoying to everybody in the back behind you. Could you please not use your phones? And they look at me. They just stare at me. They don't say anything. They just stare at me like I have lobsters crawling out of my ears. So we have this awkward silence. Batman's kicking ass on the screen. The movie's already started. I'm missing it. And I'm like, okay, thanks. And I go back to my seat. Not even a minute later, the dude's back on his phone, swiping on Snapchat. I'm like, fuck this. I'm tattling on this dude. So I get up, I find a teenage usher. I'm like, hey, dude in row B, seat 9, on his fucking phone. I told him, stop it. He's not stopping it. Do something. So the employee,
Remind me never to rob a bank with you.
oh, I don't even care. At this point, I don't care. Like, I'm nice to you once. Just once. I'm nice.
Okay.
So the little teenage usher goes and talks to the dude, and I think finally everything's okay. I can enjoy Batman. Not even a minute later, the dude's back on his goddamn phone. What the fuck is wrong with this dude? Why is Snapchat so fucking important to this guy? He's just Snapchatting away. Now my wife gets pissed. It's a lot when she gets pissed. So she gets up. She goes to get the goddamn manager. She comes back 5 minutes later, and then a sterner employee must have come and talked to the dude. They had quite a conversation, and then the guy just gives this to me. Like, you're giving me the middle finger because I want to enjoy a fucking movie? It's not cheap going to a movie these days. 2 tickets, overpriced, mediocre food. It's over $100. I don't pay for a ticket to watch you do Snapchat. I want to watch Batman. So that soured me. Like, I was in a bad mood after that.
Did he even try to hide it? Like,
no.
If I was taking, like, hey, my grandma, I'm gonna just kind of hide the light. Like, that must be what they're doing.
No, he didn't. He didn't try to hide it. But
what a dick.
At the very end of the film, like the last 2 scenes, he picked up his phone and he was like this, hiding it close, just to Snapchat. I think just to get one on me, just to show me who's boss. Like,
Wow.
But that just annoys the fuck out of me. Why do people think that that's socially acceptable? I don't know. Is it the new, like, serving you food? People are more relaxed, thinking it's okay to
Maybe it's because our generation knows what it's like to not have phones, and they have. If you grew up always having a phone, maybe you have a different.
It's like the
brain
dude was
makeup.
addicted. He's addicted to Snapchat. He's
What? I
addicted
don't
to
even
it.
have Snapchat. What?
I don't have Snapchat. I have Snapchat, but I've never posted a snap. My kids, that's a kid thing. My teenage
Yeah.
daughters have Snapchat. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure some of our viewers are big Snapchat fans. I don't mean to offend anybody, but like I meant like the get off my lawn kind of stage of my life. I don't put up with shenanigans. I don't. Anybody that goes to a movie knows I will be the first person to bitch you out if you're using a cell phone. I oh God. One time I caught a girl. She was. We went to go to the premiere of Captain America: Civil War, and this girl was pirating it on her cell phone right next to me,
Ooh.
and I bitched her out. I don't know. Like I said, I'm 50 next month, and I think I'm at that point where I understand where my parents were coming from. I understand where the older generation was coming from. Probably annoyed with me all through my teenage years and my young adulthood. I don't know how I survived it with them, but
What have you recently become too old to do? Are there any new like fuck it list ideas?
um, I hate going to the mall. I don't want to go to the mall anymore. Mall's just
Okay.
not for me. Even though malls seem to be kind of dying out. But no, I used to go to the mall every weekend with my friends. Don't want to do that anymore.
What about just crowds in general?
Oh, I don't. I hate crowds. I even before the pandemic, I hate crowds. I hate
Well, you go to,
stupid people.
what about concerts? You just went to a concert.
Yeah, and that was a good time. I got annoyed there. I got really annoyed a couple times. We got really good seats. We were like right up in the front. I had the aisle seat, and there was this girl that came down. She had the cheaper seats. She came down, and she was right next to me in like the stairwell, and she was like dancing. She only did it to two songs, which was enough to annoy me, but it wasn't that bad. But she had long hair, and she was like whipping her hair around, like
There you
thrash
go.
metal, hair metal, and it was whipping me in the face. I'm like, I'm getting pissed. She's pushing my buttons. But thankfully, that was only like two songs, so it
See, I
wasn't.
think when you get older, you get better money sense. And when you go to a concert or a movie theater, you're really taking a leap of faith because the ability to of you liking it is out of your control.
Yeah,
There could be something, and you're like, and every person has different risk and rewards. My dad can go to a movie, there's always going to be that guy there. Someone else can go to a movie, and it's going to be like everybody, who can't talk is there. Just just silent people every time. So
yeah, I that would be ideal. There is a theater by me that's another Marcus theater that they just bought that nobody ever goes to. I love going to that theater, but it's a little bit out of the way. Nobody goes there, so you can go to like a brand new movie on like a Thursday night early screening, and it'll be you and like three other people there that want to go there because there's no crowds there. So they're in the same mindset you are. It
you're
wasn't
going to
screening
enjoy
there.
it.
It wasn't showing there, so I couldn't go there. But
We gave up the Renaissance Fair because of crowds.
yeah, I don't know. I just like I go to
It's,
the biggest thing I do every year is the state fair. We go to the Wisconsin State
mhm.
Fair. That's the biggest crowd that I can handle. I just don't like stupid people. There's it's not so much the crowds, it's the stupid people. Just don't
When you
like.
add that many people, there's going to be that many more.
Yeah.
Simple numbers game.
Yeah, yeah. But back onto the Batman, it was a
Batman.
really good movie. It was long. I guess that my only complaint is it was a little too long. Wasn't boring in any spots, but it was maybe a little bit too long. It was almost 3 hours. They could have probably whittled it down to 2.5 hours, and it would have been maybe a better experience. But a fantastic detective noir story. I thought Robert Pattinson was a really good Batman, like a really good Batman. If you want to see Robert Pattinson in a good film, watch Good Time. Good Time is the film that Matt Reeves, the director and co-writer, saw that convinced him that Robert Pattinson was going to be a good Batman. Like he's a good actor. People give him shit about Twilight all the time. When I said I'm
Yep.
going to see Batman, Doctor Destruction, he gave me shit because of the sparkling vampire
Hmm.
scene in Twilight. But he didn't. He hasn't seen any of the Robert Pattinson movies.
This is a spin off of Twilight. This is, how vampires can turn into bats. This is his second
I've
life.
heard people say that. Yeah. I mean, he's a good. I mean, even he's the first person to say that Twilight was not a good film. That he's not really proud of his Twilight history.
Okay. Well, I don't know. You know how I feel about the books, but You said this was on par, as good as The Dark Knight,
It was it was about as good as The Dark Knight.
and that's saying a lot. Then high praise for it. There you go. I'm still on the fence. I don't know. I
So
got Molly chirping in my ear too because she does not like Robert Pattinson.
my
Because of
wife doesn't
Twilight.
like Robert Pattinson either. My wife doesn't like Robert Pattinson either, but she
What
liked this movie. So
she
this might be
liked
the
it.
movie that converts her. This might be the movie that does it.
You've been calling it for so long, and I
But has she seen any other movie that Robert Pattinson has been in, or has she
no
only
because
seen
he's in it.
Well, see, that's the thing. You've got to watch.
She won't watch it when he's in it. So
You
she
have
has.
got to watch other films that Robert Pattinson has done. The Lighthouse was an incredible film. Incredible film.
I didn't
Good
see that
Time
one. I
was
wanted to.
so good. Watch Good Time. You guys have got to watch Good Time and let me know what you think of it. It was so freaking amazing. It was so good.
Well, what makes this Batman different and better? You said back to a detective.
Yeah, it's more of a detective story. He uses more of his the gadget. It was probably the most grounded Batman film, live action film. He didn't have these super fancy gadgets. He did have gadgets, but they weren't like super high tech, um all very DIY kind of gadgets.
Okay.
Molly says she saw Cedric. I don't know what that
From
means.
Harry Potter.
Oh,
His 4 seconds of talking in Harry Potter.
I
She's
forgot
counting
he was
as
even in Harry Potter.
yeah.
Yeah, you just watch Good Time, Molly. Trust me. Watch Good Time and you'll thank me later. You will
Oh,
thank
she's
me
gonna
later.
have a good time later.
You will think it's from the Safdie brothers who did Uncut Gems. I don't know if you saw Uncut Gems, another excellent movie. It's the movie that with Adam Sandler. I said I would never watch another Adam Sandler movie again, but I saw Uncut Gems. It was an amazing movie too. Like these guys know what they're doing, and I can't give Good Time enough praise. If you guys saw Good Time, let me know in the
We
comments.
have way too many Twisted Dreams Film Festival submissions to watch. Which
Well,
maybe instead of going to Batman, you should start. I can see the ones you watch.
you see the ones that I review. You see the ones that I give a rating to. You don't see all of them that I watch. Sometimes
Oh yeah,
and then I go back later and then I'll leave my review.
you've
And I
never
used
done
to,
that once. You're making
first,
it up right now.
the first few years I didn't review anything because I didn't know how to do it.
Okay.
Steve was the only one that knew how to do it. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't take the time. But what was I going to say? I was going to say something about the Batman. Oh yeah, there was I don't want to give any spoilers out, but there were some surprises in there that nobody really leaked. So there's some.
Oh, that's good.
I really want to say something, but I'm going to wait until you see it.
I
So
think we are gonna aim for Sunday night.
All right, so maybe we
got a
can.
baby shower tomorrow and all kinds of bullshit.
Baby's not here yet.
No,
It's
it's my
whatever.
niece's baby. Whatever.
What?
It's my great
Yeah,
uncle.
we'll
Yeah,
do a
I'm
spoiler.
excited.
We'll do a full-on spoiler show when you see it.
Okay.
Because there's some stuff that I want to talk to you about. Some pretty cool stuff. I'm really curious to see where the story goes next. There's
Is
Matt
this
Reeves.
the same universe
No,
as Justice League?
no, completely different universe.
Is it the same universe as the new Joker
Nope,
universe?
completely different universe.
Oh.
This
So
is
they just make a new movie, new universe every time. Am I going to have to keep track of these universes? I'm running out of RAM up here.
whatever you like. So Warner Brothers is really banking a lot on this film. There's 2 spin-off series coming on HBO Max. There's a spin-off series focusing on Jim Gordon and the GCPD, the Gotham City Police Department, and there's another series that focuses on the Penguin and kind of the underground criminal element and where the Batman kind of left it off. They're going to pick up on the series.
Does Jim Gordon arrest anybody without Batman there? Does he just have a normal job?
So yeah, they worked together a lot. Like they had a lot of scenes together, and they were almost like partners. They were almost like partners. It was almost like a buddy cop movie. It was really cool. It was
But
really
wouldn't
cool.
that make Jim Gordon a vigilante criminal?
Well, that's kind of discussed in the film. That some of the cops
Bought off by Batman?
some of the cops are like, "Hey, are you what's the deal with you and this Batman guy?" So that's
Well,
kind
that's
of
what I would be wondering. Like, hey, this guy's not letting us do our job.
yeah, there you go.
Just because
There you
we like what he does doesn't mean he's, tying people up and beating someone's ass.
go. Yeah, but Jeffrey Wright was a excellent Commissioner Gordon. I know some people were doubtful that he was going to be a decent Jim Gordon, but he was excellent. I thought he was really good. Colin Farrell as the Penguin, he was really good. Couple things that kind of irked me about him though. He didn't have a umbrella at all through the movie. Obviously, he didn't have a
And a
cigar
cigarette.
or a cigarette or top hat. There's one scene where he's in this pouring rain, and that's shown in the trailer. It's pouring rain, and all of his goons have umbrellas, but the Penguin doesn't have his umbrella. I don't know if that was it.
So that's the shtick. He never, no matter what, will. You can't even put an umbrella in his hand. He won't take it.
He didn't have an umbrella.
he's the man who won't take an umbrella.
I don't know, but yeah, didn't have an umbrella even in the pouring rain.
Maybe in his backstory, we'll figure out why he hates the umbrella in this.
He's just got an umbrella phobia. Umbrella phobic.
There's a scene where he put him an umbrella and pushed it out to sea.
There is a scene where he waddles like a penguin.
Yeah.
I won't tell you how that happens, but it happens.
Oh.
That was pretty funny. I thought that was intentional.
Okay.
Penguin jab. But
so is any of the other DC shit in this universe? Like, does Superman exist?
Nope.
It's just Gotham.
There's no mention of any other superhero. It's just Gotham. And Gotham, it was it's not like a Gotham you've ever seen in another film version. It was
it really looked Tim Burton-y.
It wasn't. It looked more like Chicago than New York. Looked a lot more like Chicago than New York. They filmed it, I think, in Australia, so it was all on sound stages, and but it was dirty, grimy, like a good Gotham should, but definitely had more of a Chicago vibe than a New York vibe.
Okay.
Which I thought that was cool. It was cool. The movie was beautiful. I mean, you could take any shot film. You could take any shot film. Superpowers? No. This is about
like Solomon Grundy and Aja Ghul and shit are not like.
No, this is probably the most grounded Batman film we've had.
Okay, so like real criminals, real detectives, not super.
Real criminals, yep. Real detective skills. It was, even probably the craziest thing is, we saw this in the trailers. Batman has these contact lenses that record everything like a video camera. That's that's his most high tech gadget that he uses. He just uses that so he can watch everything that he did and get all the clues and everything. But it was good. And Andy Serkis played an Alfred. Their relationship was different than any other Batman film. They almost had a very tense relationship between them. Batman, Bruce Wayne kind of was shitty towards Alfred. He kind of treated him poorly, and Alfred was totally devoted to him. But really good. And the cinematography was excellent. I was going to try and touch on that earlier. You could take any frame, any shot from this film, hang it on your wall, and it would be art. It was just gorgeous.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll look forward to that then.
Really good. Yeah. Definitely going to get into a spoiler review when you do see this.
Okay.
Because there's a scene at the end. There's a scene at the end.
Oh, do we got to stay all the way post credit?
There's a post-credit scene, but it's not even worth staying for. I'm going to spoil it for you because I don't want people to have to sit through the credits. There's just a screen, a black screen, and then there's a thing that says the end or goodbye, and with a website URL, which they show earlier in the film. It's not worth staying for. It's no story.
Did you go to that website?
Yeah. It's Please do not stay for the post-credit scene. It's just a movie website to promote the movie. You answer some of the riddles, and if you get them right, they show you screenshots from the movie. It's not worth seeing for.
Okay. All right.
So, like I said, we'll do a spoiler review when you see it. Maybe we'll do that next week. We've got some Australian ladies on next week.
All
we were supposed to celebrate Women in Horror Month last month, but we didn't. So we're going to probably do that next week. But why don't we talk about a story or two that are going on?
Yeah. Besides the Ukrainian stuff, that I'm going to have the shortest show ever because there's nothing else being covered.
You want to talk about this? woman,
Oh
Green Bay
yeah.
woman.
Give us business.
Shabusiness, Taylor Shabusiness complained. Green Bay woman dismembered man's body, placed head in bucket. This is Wisconsin, so we're used to, crazy murders.
Mm-hmm.
Officers found a severed head in a bucket at a home on Green Bay's west side and body parts in other locations in scenes reminiscent of a gory horror movie. Taylor D. Shabusiness charged with first-degree intentional homicide. Now, apparently, this was a drug-fueled sex romp.
Okay.
Got carried away. She just
She
chopped
looks
his
pretty
head off.
good. She may be worth taking a risk.
You know, I was talking about Dr.
50-50.
Destruction and I are looking for a new co-host for Crimson Theater. And the doc somehow found this woman's Facebook page and saved some screenshots and was sending me screenshots of her saying that this person had applied for the co-host position. I'm like, okay,
No
well,
way.
let's set her up for an interview. Yeah, he was trolling me hard.
Oh,
Like, let's set her up for an interview. Let's have a talk with her, see if she'll work out. And he said, no, she can't do it. She's in Green Bay in prison for chopping off a dude's head. So he trolled me pretty hard. But apparently this woman,
Dr. D he'll go the mile for the long con on you, won't he?
he does. Apparently this woman is like this criminal mastermind. She's in jail now, and she's like, you'll never find all of his body parts. She's not telling the cops where all of his pieces are. So I picture her like Hannibal Lecter, in this plastic box, just conniving. Yeah. You'll never find all of him.
Do you think, what she should do? She should make a poem and a painting like in The Secret by Byron Priest and make everybody go dig them up.
That would be something. I wonder if they're ever going to find all this, dude.
Well, okay. I guess it would depend on, is this like a homeless guy or does he have family members that would really care?
I'm sure he was just a regular old dude.
Then probably they're going to want it.
He was her boyfriend, so she doesn't look like the type that would date.
Just pick up a stray.
Who knows? Maybe
stray romp.
Maybe.
Well, she's good looking enough that she could pretty much go out to any bar and get any guy in any bar any night.
Pretty much.
Women don't know how easy they have it to be serial killers.
Yeah.
This is a woman who found out her real power and she couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I feel like, there's all these Florida man memes. Florida man eats 300 pounds of boogers. I think Wisconsin woman needs to be a meme now.
Yeah.
I think we need to start that Wisconsin woman.
Where'd she find him? Where'd she bury him? You're going to get that. I'm all over it. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to be her conjugal visit.
The victim was a 25-year-old male. Police searched Shabusiness's van. In the rear passenger seat, they found a crock pot. That's right. There was a leg in a crock pot box.
Just the box?
Yeah, they found a crock pot box with additional human body parts, including legs. Police obtained a search warrant for the home on Stony Brook Lane, which belonged to the victim's mother, so the dude's mom. In addition to the human head, they found a male organ in the bucket. They also found bodily fluid and knives. So she cut off his penis too.
Penis?
Head.
A leg and a head. A leg in a crock pot means something.
Hi, Larry. Yeah, that reminds me of very early internet days. There was Dan's Gallery of the Grotesque website. They had a story called Natural Born Losers, and it was this couple that lived down south Kentucky, wherever. It was a woman and her boyfriend. They killed the woman's husband, who I guess was abusive. They killed the husband, and they dismembered his body. And they cut his head off, cut his penis off, and they took pictures on like a 110 camera. You remember those old 110 cameras? They took a bunch of pictures posing with the body part. They were naked posing with the body parts. They put the head on the table and put the penis like on the guy's mouth. So he's, fellatiating on himself. Yeah. And they took the film to a Kmart to get developed. and that's how they got caught because they just took the roll of film to
They
the
let
Kmart.
somebody else develop them because they
Yeah,
didn't feel like learning photography. They'd rather take the
they
risk.
took it to Kmart to get developed, and whoever's developing the film saw them and called the police. But they put Dan's Gallery of the Grotesque posted the pictures because I guess the pictures were public um, because of the court case or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what that reminds me of. Yeah, I used to work at Walgreens and I had to run the 1 hour photo department from time to time, and yeah, we saw a lot of weird pictures coming in. A lot of weird pictures.
Huh.
Depending on the store you worked at the location, whereabouts in the city, some were weirder than others. The college stores, weird pictures, porn all the time. College kids, porn hounds. We saw naked pictures all the time coming into the college stores.
They almost in this day and age, were you allowed to develop naked pictures?
Yeah, as long as it wasn't child porn.
But how do you know that the person in there, they don't come with a driver's license?
Yeah, it's a judgment call.
Really?
Yep, it's a judgment call. I think we called the cops once because it was weird. It was really weird. Like it was obviously a child, like a 7-year-old kid, boy,
Ooh.
um, posing like this, naked, 2 thumbs up, naked. It was an Asian family, and we called the police.
Yeah.
Yeah, Larry worked photo too. Yeah, so exactly the way things go. Yeah, we called the police, and the police went out to talk to the family, and I guess it's like a cultural thing. Like the kid peed on his own, and they took a congratulatory picture of him naked.
Yeah, I grew up with some families that somebody would be taking a shit and it was nothing for the mom to just come in and start doing her hair. Like, just odd. Like, wait a
Yeah,
minute. He's using the bathroom. Yeah, but he's not using the sink. Just
yeah,
like that's
yeah. It
little
was weird. And on
weird.
the inner city, we got a lot of funeral pictures. Um,
You're not supposed to take pictures of dead bodies. Yeah.
African Americans um, take a lot of pictures of their family members when they pass. We got that all the time, and it was really sad seeing the families like that. But it's a cultural thing. I don't know.
Yeah, in cadaver labs, we have to leave our phones in a thing
Yeah,
because the first day you're getting tested on the exact cadaver, so it'd be really nice with the differences in human bodies to be able to take pictures and know where they're going to put the pins of things you need to know. And
why why
you,
why did they
you,
take pictures of the funeral? Uh, just to remember maybe they didn't have any pictures of the person, when they were alive. It's kind of like the post-mortem pictures in Victorian times. That was a big thing. Families would uh, have a photographer come out to the home and they'd pose a corpse, as if it were alive.
yeah, you have to have a license to take pictures of
Do you?
dead bodies. Yeah, like weird.
Yeah, it was something. It was something. I don't know if I missed it or not, but yeah, definitely have some memories. But do you want to talk about the old Kanye? What's going on with Kanye?
Oh, we need to start a strictly Kanye
Hold on,
West
hold on
only.
1 second. All right, get rid of it. Get rid
Excellent.
of that. I just did that
Excellent.
today.
I love that.
I just
That's
did that
great.
today. I thought I've got to make something. But yeah, we've got to do this almost every week. We have to talk about what's going on with Kanye West. And
Yeah. Well, this week
go ahead, take it away.
he's he buries Pete Davidson in a music video.
In a
Because
claymation music video, yeah.
yeah, so he has just lost his mind, and now Pete Davidson is going to be going to space.
Yeah, Pete Davidson's going to get rid. Yeah. So on Wednesday, I guess it became official. Their divorce became official.
Mhm.
Kim Kardashian dropped the West from her name, and I,
Oh,
I I wonder if it was like just perfect timing or if Kanye planned it out. I'm sure he planned it out to release this video when they when it's official, they're officially divorced. So
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. It's if I were Pete Davidson, I'd be concerned. I'd be
How
really
much money
concerned.
does Kanye have? A billion?
More than I do. He's rolling in the dough. He's got enough money to make Pete Davidson disappear.
What's a realistic hitman cost? 25 grand? 50?
I think that's
Standard?
I don't know. That's probably 10 grand. I don't know. I mean, go on the dark web. You can fire a hitman on the dark web.
Everybody says the dark web. Is that like a separate internet? It's been, or is
Yeah,
that
kind
just
of sort
different
of. You got
web?
to use a different browser to access it. You got to use like a Tor browser, Tor.
Okay. So
Oh,
there is a dark web.
Larry knows about today's rate's about 75K.
Okay. 75K. Well, Kanye can, you know what, Kanye? 150K. Make sure whatever the going rate is, double it. And
And yeah, Kanye's got enough money to make that happen. And I'm sure he's got the connections to make that happen. So yeah, if I were Pete Davidson, I'd be looking over my shoulder.
wow,
That's why he's going to
going
space.
to space.
Let's be real. That's why he's
So
going to
he
space.
can get a. How long's he staying? At least 8 hours. He needs a full 8 hours of sleep. So doesn't have to sleep with one eye open
Yeah, he's probably going to space just to get a good night's sleep.
just to get a nap in.
I don't know, is Kim Kardashian is Kim Kardashian worth all of this? Really?
I
I mean,
don't
how
know,
much
but I know Kanye's got enough money that he could be on a rocket right behind him. Bang on the windows to keep him up.
Kanye is going to fast track his own space exploration just to get Pete Davidson.
Well, he ran for president last minute, you know.
Maybe Pete Davidson will be the first to colonize Mars, just to get away from.
If Kanye, oh my God, this is a horrible move. If isn't space like international waters?
I don't
If
know.
Kanye West murders him in space, like shoots a rocket and blows that shit up, you can't charge him with a crime, right?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
It depends where he is. He'd have to shoot it from a boat in the ocean.
I bet you Kanye is looking into that right now, sabotaging that rocket.
Or I just gave him the idea.
He just gave me the idea. Yeah.
So you mean I could go in a boat in the middle of the ocean and shoot down the rocket? Yeah, you can, man. Who's going to punish you?
I don't know.
You shot a rocket from the ocean. Yeah, that's him getting that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't think Kim Kardashian is worth all of this. I mean,
dude, our pop culture messages, you can go back every single day for months now, a new Kanye story.
yeah, every week we got to do a new Kanye story because every week there's something new.
Yeah,
We'll be here for you.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know I don't know where this is going to end. I don't know where this is going. I don't know what Kanye's ultimate goal is. He wants to get back with Kim, doesn't he?
Yeah, he keeps talking about how he wrecked his family, and yeah, I'm not an accessory. Just he had that idea. That's a common knowledge idea. If somebody goes to space, you can kill
him. That's Tomism. That's Tom. I don't know.
Space law.
Is that true? Is that space law? Well, what about the Space Force? Wouldn't the Space Force enforce the laws?
It's supposed to be in space, technically, the law. Because you remember the lesbian alimony in space?
No.
The first ever space crime? Oh, you may want to put lesbian space crime. Just type that in there. So these two chicks were married, and they recently got a divorce. So one of the lesbians checked the bank account of another lesbian who was on the International Space Station, and supposedly you can't look into someone else's finances like that. So it was like the first international. What happened? Oh, here's a different story, but
there's a whole article on what happens if someone is murdered in space. It's a long article. I don't want to read the whole thing, but if you're curious, just Google it.
What happens when someone's murdered?
Where does national sovereignty end?
Yeah, because one, there's no space cops.
There is no sovereignty outside of spacecraft. There are analogies to law on ships in international waters. It's not a settled issue. I don't know.
Until it happens?
I guess.
Dude, they're sending those rockets to Ukraine for $40,000. What does a one that can reach space cost? $400,000? Do you got to aim at iron sights, or do you got to program it in? That'd be quite the shot.
Speaking of space, Larry says, "Here's one for you. Everyone has some alien DNA. Aliens put us here a very, very long time ago." Yeah, that is an interesting theory. I think some of us, like Tom, have more alien DNA than others.
Yeah, that's why I'm so brilliant and good looking.
Yeah, did you just read that theory that octopuses?
Yeah, we did
space?
that. Octopus.
Yeah, we talked about that, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. You know what? I was just in a weird conversation with people about how close our DNA is to mushrooms that it doesn't make sense.
Really?
And you'll notice that there's three kingdoms. There's animal, plant, and mushrooms. And we're like the same distance between us and a chimpanzee. We're like that closely related to a mushroom. It's crazy.
Larry's been watching. Had too much time on himself watching too much Ancient Aliens on TV.
Yeah. Well, thank God spring's coming because.
Yep, Batman was awesome, amazing movie. We're gonna do a spoiler review maybe next week, but yeah, I had a good time. Speaking of Ancient Aliens, what's his name? Tsoukalos, Giorgio Tsoukalos, right? He's coming.
The hair guy.
They're touring. They're doing a live Ancient Aliens show, and they're going to be in Milwaukee soon.
Why don't you get him on Dr. Destruction?
Oh, that's a good thing. Maybe I'll reach out to him. Get him on Area 1051.
Are we doing that? Are we doing that paranormal podcast, dude? Because I was thinking about it the other day.
Yeah,
I was thinking about you the other day.
I felt it. I felt it right in my heart.
I was telling Molly that you should quit being a paranormal investigator because, one, you've done movies and film production, right?
Mm-hmm.
And two, you come from a family of traveling magicians and illusionists. No one's going to believe your footage. You literally are raised in money they made from fooling people. That's your family history. And you work in movies. Yeah, and they're going to believe your camera footage? No way.
Fake footage. I could easily fake footage, but I don't.
That's the one credibility. If you were going to fake footage, you would have done it by now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It would have been
You're not waiting until you're 50 to fake footage.
No, it would have been good too.
It still can be good.
I thought about it. I thought how I could fake footage because I know another local dude, another filmmaker that did fake footage, and he convinced some paranormal investigators that his footage was real. I know it was bullshit, but yeah, I thought about it. But
what if you capture like the best footage, the greatest? Like this is fucking nobody can dispute it, and they're gonna be like, "Well, look at the guy who was holding the camera."
Yeah, that's a risk I'm gonna have to take. I am going on an investigation. I'm going to the Valeska axe murder house on the 19th with my friend Dennis and his partner Chris. We're gonna go. We're gonna spend probably just one night there, but that's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna get a lot of footage of that.
You're gonna get a lot of footage, and no one's gonna believe it.
Nobody's gonna believe me.
Nobody's gonna believe it.
I'll know. I'll know the truth. I'll know.
Yep. So this guy's in it for the love of it because that's when what credentials hurt you in this business for some things. In that paranormal world, the Bigfoot footage, paranormal footage, if you're into movies and have sorcerer parents.
Yeah, but speaking of the paranormal podcast, I was just talking to a guy, Dennis, who he used to be in my old paranormal group that
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to him about doing a paranormal podcast because I wanted more paranormal investigators, and he's down for it. So that might happen sooner rather than later. And Dennis is actually going to be on the show on the 17th.
All right, I'd watch that.
Yeah, that'll be a good show. He was going to be on yesterday, but we had to delay it because I forgot that we were going to see Batman. Yeah, so priorities, priorities.
Right.
Batman was definitely worth it. I don't know. Anything else going on in the news you want to talk about? I mean, the whole thing in the Ukraine is kind of taking everything.
Everything over.
All
There's
the headlines are, and I don't really want to talk about that. We keep everything pop
and the
culture.
Oscars. Should we even give it attention this year?
I'm frustrated with the Oscars. I'm not going to watch.
They
I'm not going
basically, they got 8 categories they're putting on pregame, which
to. Yeah,
basically really should be pissing off the injury because they're saying, hey, you may have dedicated your life to being a sound engineer, but you're on the JV squad now. Get in the pregame. You know,
yeah, and we're not alone on that. I know a lot of people in the industry are upset about it.
well, what's the
We're
point
upset
then?
that we are. Yeah. Um, I,
No
I'm not.
matter what part of the film industry, everyone who's been in it has had a daydream of being an Oscar for what they do.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, they did. If whether they say they have or not, it's everybody's dream. Everybody dreams about winning an
Yeah,
Oscar.
you get to bring one guest. Everybody knows who their guest would be.
Yeah, yeah. It's
My
just
mom, because I could not live if I took someone else.
you take your mom over Molly.
Yes.
Okay, who would Molly take?
So Molly would take me.
Molly would take you, but you would take your mom. Well,
Molly doesn't love me as much as she used to, if you want to get into that.
oh, well,
We,
what makes you think that?
I know, you should play the Righteous Brothers. She lost that love and feeling because that's what happened with us. She went to the store to buy bags of candy, and there were 2 flavors, her favorite and my favorite. Wild cherry is mine. She loves green apple. Normally, and there you go. I would have bet my life. Like if you held a gun to my head and said, which one did Molly pick? I would have said 100% she loves me. She's my ride or die. She would have got the cherry.
Yeah,
And then she pulled out the green apple. And that's the first crack. So in the relationship, it's
yeah.
all downhill. She thought of herself in front of me. Something I never would have done. There you go, Mal. Thank you. It's gone. It's gone, Mal. So if any ladies are out there looking for a dude, it's not going to be long.
All
All I
right.
require is robotic-like obedience, and we'll be
Maybe Kim Kardashian will be looking
yeah.
for someone.
Oh, she's trying to bullshit her way out of this. There's no
This
way
is Molly. I love you so much. I knew you would want
would
me.
want me to have what I wanted.
What I wanted. Yeah.
No, never even knew you were buying them. There you go. It's over.
Molly's digging her way out of a hole right now.
I know I would have bought her flavor for her, but you know, it's just a one-way street. Our love now. I just keep
Yeah.
giving and giving. It's rough.
Sorry, Tom.
That's all right. I lived a long time before her. I'll live a long time after her. Oh, I got a story I wanted your opinion on.
All right.
Disney Plus. Did you hear the new thing they're doing?
I heard that they're going to put the Marvel shows on there.
No, they're doing something a little different here.
What are
They're
they doing?
making a third class streaming service that you pay less for, but you have to watch commercials.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Like TV.
Yeah.
So yeah. So ask yourself, would I have died on the Titanic? If the answer is yes, you now have to buy Disney for the low class. The ad Disney.
I don't know. There's too many digital services right now. I've lost track of everything we're subscribed to.
I don't watch enough.
Yeah, I hear it from my wife all the time that I need to cancel some of our subscriptions. I never use them either, so I don't know. I forgot what we're all subscribed to.
That's how they get you. They're trying to.
It is, yeah.
The video game industry is trying to switch to that now, where they will just offer all the games as long as you pay the monthly. They're starting testing it out with Xbox,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're looking to just make that a permanent monthly service
Well,
for
yeah,
all available games.
you're talking about Xbox Live Game Pass, which I subscribe
Yep,
to.
I
I
do
think it's
too.
an excellent service, and I also subscribe to the PlayStation Now. It's PlayStation's kind of version of Game Pass. It's a little different, not quite as good, but
Hmm.
I like Game Pass. I think Game Pass I think it's a good value. But Sony's going to revamp their services. They're going to offer tiers, $10, $15, $20 for like the super service. But yeah, that's definitely something that I think video games are headed towards.
And then you just have
Oh
all the
wow,
games available.
that's brutal. Not a Sony fan.
No, did somebody try to get the doll? Like that South Park episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
No.
just got a PlayStation 5 like 2 weeks ago, so I'm
Oh, this freaking guy. He has everything.
I'm
He
getting
lives in a museum. He lives in a museum. He has every toy in the box and out of the box, and three more boxes of every toy to sell someday.
yeah. I mean, I got one to show, one to keep,
One to play with,
one to play with. Yeah.
and then a spare. If any of those go down.
Well, Larry, you're missing out on a lot of really good games. I mean, for Horizon Forbidden West, fantastic game. God of War, fantastic game. I just got Gran Turismo. It's nothing but a cookie. Wow, you're brutal. You are brutal.
Yeah, he tells it the way it is.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy them. I like video games. I'm not a console fanboy. I like Microsoft. I like Sony. I just play games. I like games. Always have.
Yeah. I switched Molly from Sony to Xbox.
Did you?
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I've been a gamer for well over 40 years.
Since games.
Since games. Yeah. Since games.
Yeah.
Really. Since the 70s, late 70s. Oh my God.
You are the original gamer. You're there day one.
Yeah, I was addicted to games as a kid. I'd go to the arcades every single weekend. Arcades were cool. They were dark. They were smoky. The carpets were sticky. Those were the good times. Those are the golden age. You were looked down upon. You were frowned upon if you were a gamer. People thought you were just this hooligan, this juvenile delinquent if you liked video games. And now it's, yeah, our first fight. That's my wife. Our first fight was over video games. We got married in October 2001. And in November 2001, the first Microsoft Xbox came out.
Ooh.
I bought one. And she was mad at me. She was mad at me.
Why?
She's not a video game fan. She doesn't like games. She doesn't understand them. Doesn't understand the appeal.
Wow. She was mad.
She was mad. Yeah, she was mad.
That's because
I was happy.
Were turning on a new pleasure machine instead of your recent.
I was happy. I got Halo. I got like
Halo
3
came
games.
out.
Halo, yeah. Halo was the game on the Xbox.
Yeah.
Played Halo. Said, yeah, I got to get this.
Yeah, arcades were all. I still had some arcade playing days.
That was my life.
Arcades were expensive though. Think about it.
Yeah, they were, but when you're like a short, fat white kid, that's like kind of like a mascot of the arcade, you get free games all the time. I never had to pay for games.
How'd you get free games?
Because I was always there, and like I got to know the guys that worked there, the attendants at my local Land's Castle. I was like a teddy bear, they liked me. I hung out. I was there all the time, so they
gave you quarters.
No, they opened up the door to the game and they put like 50 credits in, and I just sit there and play.
No.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Damn.
Good time.
And I would go through $5, which was huge money for a kid in that day, in like half hour.
Yeah, usually I'd bring like $5 and you can get like 30 tokens for $5. And I'd be there all day.
Our arcade had actual quarters. There were no tokens.
Yeah, we had tokens. Land's Castle had tokens, but I would milk that $5 for the whole day. The whole day.
Not me. I'm back in the half hour. Frick.
Yeah. It's a good time. I miss arcades. I'm glad that they're kind of making a resurgence in like bars doing like retro games. And
Well,
there's an arcade. There's the Garcade. You ever hear of the Garcade
no.
in the Milwaukee area? Yeah, it's a big arcade.
We went to one at a bachelor party. It was 3-story arcade in east side of Milwaukee.
Yeah,
100
yeah.
something
I
it's
went
called.
I went to a bunch of strip clubs at my bachelor party. Didn't go to an arcade. Didn't
Damn, we
think about
went to an
going.
arcade.
Didn't think about going to an arcade for a bachelor party.
And you call yourself an OG gamer. That's my buddy's more of an OG gamer. He had his bachelor party at arcade.
We needed a break from arcade games. We needed a
Yeah.
break. Yeah. Oh man, it reminds me. You know, when we were a kid, we're like, yeah, video games over women any day, any day.
Yeah.
Games before hoes.
Yeah, but if that's why your wife married you, you finger blasted her with those arcade fingers. Couldn't.
They're strong. They're girthy and strong. I got
Yep.
sausage fingers from track and field. You ever play track and field?
Yeah. Look what you can do.
No. See, I would do this. We had other people that would bring pencils and do like this with the pencils. Well,
Okay.
we had crazy techniques.
Oh, there you go.
One guy would put Vaseline on his fingers, grease his fingers up, which would
Mhm.
would run faster on the buttons. He got kicked out all the time for doing it though, because
I always put my fingernails together like this to make a flat sliding surface to get them back and forth.
yeah. Well, now I just use auto fire if I want to play it on.
Oh, this guy, whatever cheap thing there.
Remember the power glove? Yeah, I had a power glove. I had a power glove. I wish I still had a power glove.
No, not me.
You never had the power glove?
No.
Well, you weren't really.
It was out with for Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I was playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out then.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're probably a little bit too young for the power glove.
No. It was out. I wanted it. Never got it. I remember seeing it at Kohl's in West Bend.
Mom never got you the power glove.
Never got the Power Glove.
Damn. Well, you can go on eBay. Get one on eBay.
All my big Christmas and birthday presents when I was that age was just huge Ghostbuster shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 2 birthdays on the same day because my stepdad adopted me and he adopted me on my birthday. So my mom said, you have 2 birthdays. You have your actual birthday and you have your adoption day. I was born a Jurgensen. That's my birth name, but I took my stepdad's name when he adopted me. So my mom said, okay, here's the deal. You can get 2 big presents. You can get 1 present, 2 medium presents. You can get 4 medium presents. She like had this fucking graph out of presents.
Pyramid.
It lasted 1 year. Next year it was just a regular old birthday. I like to tell people I have 2 birthdays on the same day.
That is true.
Yeah, my mom said it. Must be true.
Okay, check this one out. My brother and sister are also my stepbrother and sister.
All right, explain that.
Yeah, that's a riddle for you. My parents were married. They had 2 children, my brother and sister. They divorced, got remarried, and then had me. So I am from the second marriage.
Okay, that's interesting. I almost thought you were from like West Virginia or something, but
nope.
You're not
divorced
cousins.
And remarried. Nope.
Right.
But so when my brother and sister pissed me off, I say, from my mom's other marriage.
Are they still married?
My parents, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Interesting. I don't think I've ever heard anybody that did that. That's a cool story.
Divorced and remarried the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Tom gets older, he'll also be his own grandpa. That's kind of mind fuckery I don't want to even get into. that trips me out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess on that note, we should probably wrap things up. We've been going for almost an hour, but this was just 2 dudes talking.
Having fun.
No homo. It was fun. We'll be back. We'll be back next week, and we're going to have some Australian women in horror next week.
Yeah.
So that should be a pretty fun show. Maybe a busy show too. So maybe Tom will see the Batman, and we'll do a spoiler review of the Batman You guys should see it by then. Go see it. And if you haven't seen Good Time yet, see Good Time. That was an amazing movie. We'll see you next week.